Hello friends, welcome to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Alyssa. Today I've got 3 delicious fall side dishes for you, which are perfect for any of your fall inspired meals. So we are going to be making a fabulous butternut squash and sage cornbread. We're also going to be making gluten-free rosemary and garlic croutons, which are so good and so easy. And then we're also going to be making some spaghetti squash fritters, which are a really fun way to use spaghetti squash that kind of like is an easy side dish, but also a great lunch. They're really, really, really delicious. So all of these recipes are up on the blog for you already, so you can find those links right down below this video in the description box. And before we dive in, I would love for you to subscribe if you are not yet part of our community. There's a red button right below this video that says subscribe. All you got to do is tap that video. Otherwise, let's go ahead and dive in. All right, so we are going to start by making our spaghetti squash fritters. We are going to cut a spaghetti squash in half and then just scoop out the seeds. And once you've scooped out the seeds, you can just place it flesh side down in either a baking sheet or a baking pan and just add like a nice splash of water and bake this up until a knife can be inserted into the flesh and it like goes in cleanly. It takes about 30 minutes or so. And I don't really know why I have this in a different container here, but basically just scoop out all of the spaghetti squash that you have here, and you are going to place those in a mixing bowl. Once you have the spaghetti squash in your mixing bowl, I like to use a fork to just kind of break it up to make sure that I don't have any large chunks of squash. And then I will begin to add the rest of my ingredients. So we're gonna add about a cup of cooked quinoa, as well as some quinoa flour, nutritional yeast, chili powder, smoked paprika, pinch of sea salt, and you'll mix that all together with a fork or a spatula or a spoon or whatever you want until the spaghetti squash is coated and the flour and quinoa have kind of mixed in together. Then we will add in our beaten egg and you'll stir that together until you have, I guess, like a dough form. So basically everything comes together. And then the final step is to melt some coconut oil in a pan, and we're gonna just pan fry these like I do many of my other fritter recipes. Just about a tablespoon or so of coconut oil, and then I'll drop the spaghetti squash fritter dough into the pan. And I'll cook them about 3 minutes per side until they are nice and golden brown. And you'll just repeat this until you've used all of your batter. And you can store these in the fridge, you can freeze them, you can reheat them in the toaster oven. And for some reason, I can't find the video footage where I'm showing serving them, but I like to serve them with a dollop of tomato sauce, which you'll see in the blog post. So to get some ideas for serving, just head on over to the blog post. Our second recipe is going to be our croutons, and we are going to start by cutting a loaf of gluten-free bread into cubes. You can use any kind of gluten-free bread that you want. Once you have it all cubed up, just add all of those cubes into a bowl. From there, we're gonna add in some olive oil, garlic powder, dried rosemary, and a generous pinch of salt. And we will stir that together until it is combined. I like to toss it together with my hands. Then you can just transfer this onto a baking sheet and you will bake this up until your croutons are golden brown and crispy. My trick is similar to how I make granola. I like to leave it in the oven for about an hour or so and let it kind of dry out in the oven, and it gets them super, super crispy. So that is the crouton recipe, and I'm gonna show you one of my favorite ways to serve them. So I honestly just love serving them with my tahini ranch, which I've showed you guys before, and I'll leave down in the description box. And I just dress that over romaine, just chopped up romaine heart, and I sprinkle this with some of the croutons, and it is the ultimate side dish. It is so perfect. It's light, it's delicious, it's vegan, and it kind of is reminiscent of like a classic Caesar salad, so you really can't go wrong. And then our final recipe is our butternut squash cornbread. This is great with chili. We're gonna start by roasting some butternut squash. So you're just gonna add your cubed butternut squash directly onto a pan, drizzle on some olive oil, sprinkle with some sea salt and cracked pepper, stir it all together and roast this up until it is golden brown, about 20 to 25 minutes. Once that is roasted, you can just scoop it off your pan and add it directly into your blender, where we will add the remaining of our wet ingredients. So we're gonna add in a flax egg, We have some almond milk, olive oil, a little maple syrup for sweetness, and that's it. And you can just pop that lid on your blender, blend it up until it's smooth and creamy, and move on to your dry ingredients. So your dry ingredients are going to be gluten-free coarse cornmeal, as well as almond flour, quinoa flour, baking powder, and some sea salt. Give that a quick stir until the flours are combined, and then just pour your wet ingredients into the bowl and stir it all together until you have a really beautiful, smooth cornbread batter. From there, to add some extra flavor kick, I like to add in some fresh sage. It's about 2 tablespoons of fresh sage that I just fold into the batter, and it adds this like nice herbaceous flavor, which is really lovely. From there, you can just transfer this batter directly into your parchment-lined baking pan, and we will smooth it over with the back of your spatula or spoon just to kind of make sure that you have it all evenly spread out into the corners and you have a nice even layer on top. Then I like to finish it off by making it nice and pretty by topping it with some sage leaves, and I just use the mini sage leaves that I find on the plant, and I know that I'm going to cut this into 12 squares, so I put 12 different sage leaves on top. And you can do that, you cannot do it, it's up to you, but I think it makes it look really pretty. From there, we will just bake this baby up at 425 degrees until it is golden brown and cooked all the way through. Directions are in the blog post, of course. Let it cool completely before you slice it up, and slice it up into 12 squares and enjoy. Like I said in the beginning, I absolutely love serving this with chili. This is great at Thanksgiving. It's an awesome like twist on classic cornbread, super healthy, vegan, gluten-free. And in a couple weeks, I'm also going to be showing you how to use this fabulous cornbread to make a vegan cornbread stuffing. So stay tuned for that. I think you guys are going to love it. And there you have it, my friends. I hope you enjoyed today's recipes. I can't wait to hear which one you're gonna try first. I have pinned a comment right below this video in the comment box that asks, so let me know by responding which one you're most excited to try. So if you do wanna make any of these recipes, the full recipes are up on the blog, and I've put the links right down below this video in the description box. Otherwise, I really appreciate you taking the time out of your day to be here. It means the world for me to have you tune in and be part of this awesome tribe. If you did enjoy this video, please give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe by hitting the red button right below this video before you go. And if you want to get notifications of when we share new content, which is every Tuesday and Friday, make sure to click that little bell because that will turn on your notifications. Otherwise, I hope you have a fabulous rest of your day, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye, guys.